Welcome back in our channel. Today we're gonna talk about something else, not related to the previous topics that we have been used, and they have a use, so we can't use that again. Today we're gonna talk about the supersonic booms that ever created by the starship in the future. That will be created by the starship in the future. But in the recent flight, in the Starship Flight 4, that the regarding that we know that this booster 12 have descended over the Gulf of Mexico, and during the descent we have been observed the supersonic boom is a much immersive and intense than the normal and ordinary Falcon super like supersonic booms, because the supersonic booms is based on an object's mass and weight. If the object mass is a very high, and I mean it's very large, then could be the supersonic booms penetrate the and damage to the another an area where it has been formed up, because you can see the Falcon 9s usually emits the very lower and gradually sonic booms that they are not associated with the damage across the area, but they are literally the slightly capable to damage the few things like a window. If the window is not the tolerable to the supersonic booms, then there can be a break off. So that's why we are just concerning about that if the starship is descending at the starbase, and while it produces the supersonic boom, then there would be a more powerful than the previously ever have been created, and on the human history, I think, because the recently species have updated and integrated the some data regarding to the starship, the supersonic and booster fuel that it will be created in the flight 5. I hope it will be created. So the booster fuel in a upcoming flight that we have set it for to land over the chopstick mechanism to perform the reusability by the using the mechanical arms. That is a very sci-fi, but that's our goal and ambitious plan to recover the booster fuel, which means the first stage of the starship. And the immense, like, in a concern of in under the concern of an influence of the supersonic booms that the really affect to the FAA and FCC environment concerns. So that's why before the flight and advance in a before the flight spaces in advance they evacuated the almost the far and distant area before they going to do this all thing, because in a in the previously that we know they are just launching the evacuation notice across the Boca Chica village to evacuate the village before the flight is going into a takeoff. So but for this they will do a very large and like large level and large scale of evacuation to prevent any damage. But there is a possibility the supersonic booms will be damage the pad itself. They will damage the some exposed hardware is especially if you wanted to include them, then that would be the hardwares on the chopstick, hardwares on the orbital tower, everywhere around it, like on our the base, the ground GSC system that we call the tank farm. There also could be occur the damage by the supersonic booms. That's why the booster tubal the supersonic intensity is a larger and more than the ordinary Falcon 9 flights. That how they are landing over by the producing the supersonic booms in a normal sense, but the booster tubal they will be occur the large supersonic booms. So the let's quick understand how the sonic booms are created. Okay, the sonic booms is occurs when the whenever the object, whatever the object that could be, the object is moving through the air, and when it the pick up the speed and velocity increases, the object is just to penetrate and just to go through air. And if the object has the little the mass and the liberation of, I mean the just the surface and its front, then it might will the penetrate the air, and if the air is getting a very higher velocity and the mass is getting a tension of the tension of the force of the air, then that compress the air and that transform into the pressure waves, and that pressure waves is the surrounding around that the object, if the object is aerodynamically designed to. So the aerodynamically designed object could make the large sonic booms. So the sonic booms could be occurred through the aerodynamic design and sense. So there the pressure waves created that almost could be the transition into the zero level. So when they build up and around the vehicle, they literally just produce the boom sound. That boom sound could be almost the 100 and above decibel levels that can make up high pressure waves and the vibration across the area for the few seconds. But that seconds are very important to notice that how they can break off the windows or everything that have been placed over that area. So that's why the space is a little concerning about the upcoming flight 5 is could make the powerful supersonic booms, and we are sitting here to hear them. So I'm very excited to see how the sonic booms will occur through the booster tool, and I'm little excited about this. So the for the today, this is enough, and our upcoming video that about the Raptor 3 classification is coming up. So the be on our channel. My name is Gaurav Joshi, and you're watching the NASA Dive today. I'm the unmature test engineer at the automobile company. Doesn't matter. So I'm very excited to meet you. I will come back before the Starship Flight 5 and before the any testing that the space is going to be attempt in the next time. So bye. Well, welcome back. I just want to share you the story that could inspire you to be alone and that could brings your happiness. Because my story was about to my relate to my the hobby or the interest and enthusiast. Because of I love the space exploration. I love the depth of the universe. That these are the all things are very meaningful for me. And one day when I was walking out and over the road, I met to the guy who was asking me that what is your happiness? Is your happiness your the girlfriend? Is your happiness your companion? It's not actually, because my happiness is not a girlfriend, is not having a companionship. Is my happiness to explore the ideas of the space exploration, see and watch the starship launch and development every day. Those are the raw things that brings me out of the box, and I love to watch a starship the more than I watch any other things, and I gain the many of other information from it to enhance my knowledge and skills. I love the starship. I love the SpaceX. I love the any other space agencies and NASA who bringing this dream into reality. And I one day we will inhale the oxygen on a Mars. That's my promise. And I get more happy and my dopamines get a very high peak when I have heard this sound.
My nickname startup is Starship.